Star Wars Armada Explained. I'm Karnak. Today we're looking at the Quad Battery Turrets Turbolaser Upgrade card. How do you know this card equips to the Turbolaser upgrade slot? You look at the bottom left hand corner of the card and you will see the Turbolaser icon. This card costs 5 points. The card reads Quad Battery Turrets Modification. While attacking a ship with a higher speed than yours, you may add 1 blue die to your attack pool. What does the modification keyword mean? It means you can only equip one card with modification to that ship. So you can't bring multiple cards that have modification. You can only choose to equip one card with a modification at a time. This just makes sure that certain cards aren't comboing into something stupidly overpowered or anything like that. Forces you to make choices. So how does this card work? So this card is an add effect. It does not increase your battery armament. It's a die that you add to your attack pool after you roll your initial attack pool. How do you get this card to trigger? So let's say my Star Destroyer is going speed 2, and let's say this Corvette is going speed 3. This triggers the effect for quad battery turrets. This ship is traveling at a higher speed than mine. I'm going speed 2, he's going speed 3, I can roll the die. If this CR90 was going speed 2, or any slower speed, speed 2, speed 1, speed 0, I could not trigger this effect. I can't utilize this card because I'm not meeting the requirement, which again is it's only if a ship is traveling at a faster speed than mine. So how does this card actually work then? Just to explain the process out. So we're going to say this CR90 is traveling faster than I am at speed 3. I'm going speed 2. Let's say I'm attacking them with my side arc. And it's an ISD2 version, which an ISD2 rolls 2 red die and 2 blue die from its side arc. If you're, according to the equivalent range band, we're going to say that I'm in range to use all 4 of those die. So you roll your initial attack pool. In this case, we say there's no obstruction or no other method that is taking any die from me. So I roll my 2 red, roll the 2 blue. And that is my initial attack pool. Now we're in the modify die step. This is when quad battery turrets actually get added in. This is when you now add in the 1 blue die from this effect. A lot of people will just kind of initially just toss it into an initial die pool. And I mean, 95% of the time that's okay. That's not a problem. But technically, the technical time of when you add the die in from this effect is after you roll your initial pool. And then you can add in the die from quad battery turrets. So you see there, I rolled the initial 4 and then added the 1 blue die from quad battery turrets. This also means, for example, let's go ahead and range it out even further. Let's say that I'm only in the red die range and I'm making my long range attack, which again I typically only can use red die at long range. So, but he's still traveling faster than I am, so I roll my 2 red die. And because I meet the requirement of this card, which is, a ship is just traveling faster than me, I can now add that 1 blue die. So this also coincides, for example, if you have leading shots, maybe both of these reds blinked out. Well, now you can cancel that blue die and you can re-roll those reds. So quad battery turrets for 5 points. I mean, it's one of the cheapest cards you can equip to the slot. It has a variety of uses. But that's quad battery turrets. Of course, if you feel like I got anything in error or anything is wrong, please be sure to let me know. There is no error tell or clarifications for this card. Very straightforward. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you all some other time.